All good news. So, hello. Welcome to this live stream. It's a new one. It's 3 powerful ways to transform the energy of not good enough. So, let's define not good enough energy, shall we? This manifests in so many different ways and will always have different nuances for each person. You know, we're all individual, aren't we? But chunked down, not good enough wounding is the inner belief that says, I have no value, I have no worth, I'm insignificant, and it's not safe to be myself. If you constantly beat yourself up for not being perfect, for not trying hard enough, for wanting to do more, you want to be more, you continually push for success. Perhaps you find out you're continually driven to find material gain, external gain. If you're a people pleaser or an overgiver, or you set unrealistic standards for yourself, that mean that you're sure to fail. Or even if you're absolutely a very high achiever, a serial high achiever, it's likely that this energy of not good enough is running under the surface of what you show in terms of how you actually show up in your life. It will be governing how you live life underneath, which can be exhausting, and it leads to burnout, obligation, basically reacting to what life throws at you rather than designing how you live what you dream of. So this not good enough energy is really insidious, and it can be something that you're not really aware of until you actually sit down and start to become the observer of your thoughts and your actions and your behavior. Because if your thoughts are inside telling you, oh, that was really rubbish, who do you think you are to do that? You could have done better there. If you've got this kind of playing out in your mind, it's not good enough wounding for sure. If you are finding that your life is full of things that you feel obligated to do but don't really want to, and then get resentful, then it is absolutely likely that not good enough wounding is coming up at you. So when you have a look at this, and I suggest that you look at this particular energetic wounding often, because it is something that is virulent in our society. And even if you have dealt with one layer of it, there will be more, particularly as you stretch yourself. Your energy is the main contributor to how life unfolds for you. And as I've talked about before, like energy attracts its like. So if you're vibrating, if your energetic vibration and frequency is I'm not really good enough, it's going to make sense, isn't it, to discover how you can transform it into something very much more helpful for your life. After all, life is a journey, and it's about discovering and experiencing more of ourselves. So if you have not addressed any sort of level of not good enough energy, it's going to be that lots of things in life come towards you that prove to yourself that you're not good enough. Perhaps, I don't know, you're in a toxic relationship, and that relationship is giving you the feeling that you're not good enough to be loved. Perhaps in your business, the ideas that you see for yourself aren't received in the way that you think they should be, proving again to yourself that you're not good enough to be loved. Because obviously communicating your business message and receiving money for it is an exchange of the very fabric of the universe, which is love. So situations, events, and challenges that come towards you that prove to yourself that you're not good enough are actually invitations to untangle that energy, to change it a little bit, and to show yourself internally that you are good enough, that you have value, that you are able to do all of the things that you see for yourself easily and gracefully. Now, even if you're not aware of it, you know, I see it in some clients who are serial high achievers, in particularly in corporate, and they go for the next level of job, and then the next level of pay, and the next level of job. But they live in a place of, well, yeah, they're never satisfied, and they're always pushing themselves for more, always wondering how they can get more money, more accolades through their career. Now, this is also an indication of that not good enough wounding, but it has, the not good enough there has actually activated a level of, I'm going to prove myself to someone, probably a parent or a teacher, or a brother or a sister, so, you know, someone early in your family. So not good enough wounding is developed in childhood. It will be, the first decision of that will have been made when you were small, and it will be the decision that you're not good enough, probably of love of some sort. And it is a decision made through very emotionally immature eyes. I remember clearly when I was about 3, my little sister being born. And I just couldn't understand why they had gone and got another daughter. What was wrong with me, you know? And this was compounded by my sister being what everybody said was such a smiling baby, such an easy baby, not like Sarah was. And age 3, this memory embedded in me, this decision, confusion, misunderstanding the situation, you know, how on earth can they have gone and got someone else? What's the matter with me? I can't be good enough for love. So how do you overcome it? And there are many ways, but not good enough is an inner belief. It's often an implicit belief, something that is unconscious in you. So I'm going to give you 3 steps here in this live stream on how you can look at your own not good enough wounding. And the first one is that it's important to foster an internal support, and a feeling of internal support. Often, not good enough builds when there is childhood confusion, as I've just described, and a feeling of not actually being fully safe. Now, that can be that it's a very, as I said, immature perception of what's happening. But for example, growing up with parents that aren't fully present for any reason, you know, got a high-powered job and they're not often home, and you're looked after by somebody else. Or if you experienced your parents divorcing, that can be a feeling of, oh my goodness me, this isn't safe. Or as I did, I had no capacity to understand that my sister was a gift rather than a replacement of who I was as a daughter, you see, as a little girl. So internal safety is important. Now, this comes with recognizing your beliefs, your thoughts, your behaviors and actions, and taking full responsibility for them. If things in your life aren't working for you, look to how you can change them. You know, you either choose to change or you choose to stay in the process where you are, but change how you behave and how you feel about that. Internal safety means loving yourself enough to put yourself first. You are good enough for safety and for love, from you to you, yeah? When there is this safety, this internal safety, internal support within you, you can take risks. You know, can take risks with your growth and celebrate the journey, the courageous journey that you're taking, rather than continually searching for proof of your worth in the next goal or the next outcome. It becomes something different. It means that you can try anything. And it's the development of experience that you celebrate as a expression of how valuable you are. While you're going, the next thing to look at, number 2, is to acknowledge all your needs and wants. Feeling misunderstood as a child and not having your needs and wants fulfilled in the way that you needed them to be will have fed the confusion and the feeling of not being safe to express yourself fully. You know, it might be that as a child, you had these feelings that were so overwhelming that perhaps you had angry outbursts. You know, you see lots of children do that because they haven't got the words to describe themselves. But perhaps in your family, anger wasn't dealt with very well, or anger wasn't acceptable, or anger was seen as unsafe. So your feelings, your need to be heard, your need to be seen, your need to feel safe were not fulfilled for you, not by any malicious intent, although it could have been. You know, obviously lots of children have very difficult childhoods, but even if you have had very loving parents, it could be that a not good enough wounding was embedded in you because your parents are not you and they do not know what you need. And when you're small, it's very difficult for you to articulate that and express it effectively. So now ask yourself what you really need and want, and then take action towards these things. Now, if you need, I don't know, exercise to support your health, do it. Take time out and ensure that you fulfill this need. If you need space to be with yourself, then say no to other things that fill your time and prioritize yourself. When you fully acknowledge your own needs and wants, you will not look outside yourself for them to be fulfilled. You won't be looking at somebody else to come and fix you. You'll be demonstrating your own worth and value to yourself first and foremost. And then we have the third transformational step. Reframe your not good enough belief. You know, the fact is that you are unique. You're an embodiment of your spiritual nature. You are the only person ever to feel what you do, ever to experience what you will. And your individual life has massive value. You know, this is in itself is amazing. Your thoughts, your energy contribute to the universal consciousness in ways you cannot even imagine. So in that you matter, in that you have worth, in that you have massive value. So lift your gaze. Live your highest potential with courage, love, compassion, and excitement for the future. In doing that, you not only do the inner work that's required to overcome not good enough, but you externally embody it as well. Because when you're looking up and ahead, when you know you are your highest potential right now because you're showing up as your best self, when you have internal support, when you do things that demonstrate love for yourself and compassion for yourself, then the life that you live now and in the future will reflect that worth and that value that you're owning. One more thing, one more little note here to add. Not good enough wounds can surface often, and especially when you are about to shift and change and find the courage to do something different. But if you use these 3 steps to transform the woundings as they come up, you'll find that they lose their power. When you have internal safety and internal support, when you fulfill your own needs and wants on a regular basis, almost daily, you know, every day, what is it that I really need from myself today? You'll find that they lose their power. And being your best self is the absolute perfect foundation for moving into complete flow in your life, so that you're not sabotaging the things that you dream of and you desire of. You know, not good enough wounding will knock you down every single time. You'll be like Sisyphus, you know, from the Greek myth, who was pushing the boulder up the steep hill over and over and over again, only to just get to the top to have the boulder fall back on him and push him all the way back down to the bottom of the hill. So use these tools to get rid of the boulder so that you can easily walk up the steep hill and stand on its summit and look around at your life and say, I created that. And it is a full expression of my worth. I hope that has been exciting and interesting for you today. And I will be back in a couple of weeks with another subject to discuss. So lots of love, everybody. Bye.